This segment will describe the options available under the Extended Features menus and how to access and set them. The main menus in the Extended Features are Alarm Operations, Ventilator Operations, Transducer Auto Zero, Real-Time Transducer Data, Event Trace, Ventilator Checkout Tests, and Ventilator Maintenance. Our main emphasis in this video will be on the alarm operations and the ventilator operations. The alarm operations include alarm volume, apnea interval, high pressure alarm delay, low peak pressure alarm. The ventilator operations include rise time, flow termination, time termination, pressure control flow termination, NPPV mode, control unlock, display language, software version, usage meter, communications protocol, set date, set time, date format, PIP LED display, model number, and valve home position. In order to access the Extended Features menu, simply hold the Monitor Select button for 3 seconds. The LTV uses these extended menus to keep the front panel simple and uncluttered. Note that you cannot enter the Extended Features menu when the controls are locked. Once you are in the Extended Features menu, pressing the Select button will enter your choice. Rotating the Set Value knob clockwise will allow you to view the next item in the menu, while rotating the Set Value knob counterclockwise allows you to view the previous menu item. To exit a menu, rotate the Set Value knob until Exit is displayed. Then press the Select button, or you can simply press the Control Lock button to escape. The first message displayed in the Extended Features menu is Alarm Op for alarm operations. Rotating the Set Value knob clockwise will show the next menu item, which is the Vent Op for ventilator operations. Rotating counterclockwise brings us back to alarm operations. Since we want to view the alarm operations menu, I'll press the Select button to enter my choice. We can now scroll through the alarm operations menu by rotating the Set Value knob. The options are alarm volume, apnea interval, high pressure delay, low peak pressure alarm, exit, and then back to alarm volume. Let's take a look at our choices within the alarm volume menu by pressing the Select button. We can now select an alarm volume from 60 to 85 decibels. In most situations, 85 decibels is appropriate, so I'll press the Select button again when 85 decibels is displayed to enter my choice. By rotating the Set Value knob clockwise again, we can view the next menu item, apnea interval. Since we want to view the apnea interval menu, I'll press the Select button. We can then dial in an apnea interval from 10 to 60 seconds. Let's select 10 seconds by pressing the Select button to enter our choice. Now that the apnea interval has been set, we can move on to the next item in the alarm operations menu. Rotate the Set Value knob clockwise to bring up the next menu item, high pressure delay. The high pressure delay can be used if you want to delay the audible high pressure alarm when clinically appropriate. For example, suppose the patient is an adult who is capable of coughing independently without incident. If the high pressure delay is set to 1 breath, the patient could cough during a breath without triggering an audible high pressure alarm. To ensure patient safety, anytime a high pressure condition exists for more than 3 seconds, the high pressure alarm will sound regardless of the delay setting. Since we want to view the high pressure delay menu, I'll press the Select button. We can select no delay, a delay of 1 breath, or a delay of 2 breaths. Let's select a delay of 1 breath by pressing the Select button to enter our choice. With a test lung, we can create a high-pressure situation to demonstrate how the high pressure alarm delay works. Note that the visual alarm is displayed with the first high pressure breath, but there is no audible alarm. On the second high pressure breath, the audible alarm sounds. I'll now release the test lung. The visual display will read high pressure alarm until the alarm silence button is pressed. By rotating the set value knob clockwise, I can now view the next main menu item, low peak pressure alarm. Since we want to view the low peak pressure alarm menu, I'll press the select button. We can choose whether the low peak pressure alarm will apply to all breaths or just volume control, pressure control breaths only. Note that in the left example, the low peak pressure alarm is applied to all breaths. In this example, since the pressure support breaths are set to 10 centimeters of water pressure, the low peak pressure alarm had to be set less than 10 or it would alarm with each pressure support breath. Note that in the right example, the low peak pressure alarm is applied only to the control breaths, which in this example are pressure control breaths. Since the pressure control is set to 20 centimeters of water pressure, the alarm is set to 15 centimeters. Note that the alarm will ignore the 10 centimeter pressure support breaths. The ventilator will display low peak pressure off when the low peak pressure alarm has been turned off or if it has been set to apply to controlled breaths only. This is an informational message only. It is displayed at power up or when no front panel activity is detected for 60 seconds. To clear the low peak pressure off message, press any front panel button or rotate the set value knob. By rotating the set value knob clockwise again, I can now view the last low peak pressure alarm menu item, which is exit. I can press the select button while exit is displayed to leave this menu, or I can use the control lock button as an escape key. The next main menu item is Vent Ops for ventilator operations. Just like in alarm operations, we can scroll through the ventilator operations menu. Rotating the set value knob brings up rise time, flow termination, time termination, pressure control flow termination, NPPV mode, control unlock, display language, software version, usage meter, communications protocol, set date, set time, date format, PIP LED display, model number, valve home position, exit, and back to rise time. The variable rise time feature applies to pressure control and pressure support breaths. Altering the rise time alters the speed in which the set pressure is achieved. It does not alter the length of the inspiration. Let's take a look at our choices within the rise time menu by pressing the select button. We can now select a rise time profile from 1 to 9 by rotating the set value knob clockwise. On the left is a diagram of rise time profile number 1, which is the fastest. On the right is a diagram of rise time profile number 9, the slowest. A rise time setting of 1 means that the set pressure will be attained in 100 milliseconds. Each rise time profile is 33% slower than the previous one. A rise time profile of 4 or 5 is generally a good place to start. The next Vent Ops menu item, the variable flow termination feature, applies to pressure support breaths. Flow termination is used to select the percentage of peak flow for cycling the breath from inhalation to exhalation. Breaths may be cycled from 10% to 40% of the peak flow. To ensure patient safety, the breath is also cycled to expiration if the inspiratory flow rate drops below 2 liters per minute. The example on the left shows the breath cycling from inspiration to expiration at 10% of the peak flow. The example on the right shows the breath cycling at 40% of the peak flow. Some clinicians refer to the variable flow termination feature as expiratory sensitivity, since it allows the clinician to adjust when inspiration should cycle to expiration to optimize the patient-ventilator synchronization. A flow termination of 25% is a good place to start in most cases. The next menu item is variable time termination. Time termination applies to pressure support breaths only and sets the maximum amount of time allowed for a pressure support breath. This control can be set from 0.3 to 3 seconds. Should a pressure support breath reach the set time limit before it reaches its flow termination percentage, it will terminate on time instead of percentage of peak flow. The diagram on the left shows the pressure support time termination set to 1 second. In this example, the breath cycles into exhalation at 1 second because the inspiratory time of 1 second was reached before the flow dropped to 25% of the peak flow. The diagram on the right shows the time termination set at 3 seconds. Here the breath cycles into exhalation since the flow reached 25% of the peak flow before it reached the set time of 3 seconds. Next on the VentOps extended menu is pressure control flow termination. This option is used to enable or disable flow termination for pressure control breaths. When this option is on, pressure control breaths are cycled in the same manner as pressure support breaths, if the set percentage of peak flow is reached before the set inspiratory time elapses. The diagram on the left shows the pressure control flow termination on and the variable flow termination set to 40%. In the example, the breath cycles at 40% of the peak inspiratory flow because the inspiratory flow rate dropped to 40% of the peak flow before the inspiratory time of 2.0 seconds was elapsed. The diagram on the right shows the pressure control flow termination on and the variable flow termination set to 10%. In the example, the pressure control breath cycled because the inspiratory time of 2.0 seconds was elapsed before the peak inspiratory flow fell to only 10%. The NPPV mode option is used to enable or disable the non-invasive positive pressure ventilation mode. When the NPPV mode is selected, the NPPV mode LED on the front panel is illuminated. The NPPV is a secondary mode that may be selected in addition to the primary ventilation mode. When NPPV mode is selected, ventilation is delivered according to the selected mode. However, a modified set of alarms are active. These are high pressure, apnea alarm and apnea backup ventilation, sense line disconnect, external power lost, internal battery low, internal battery empty, ventilator inoperative, and defaults. All other alarms are disabled. The low minute volume and the low peak pressure displays are dimmed because these functions are inactive in this mode. The next ventilator operations menu feature is Control Unlock. This feature is used to select the easy or hard method for unlocking the controls. The easy method should be used when only trained personnel have access to the ventilator. The hard method should be used when children or others may have access to the ventilator and you want to prevent accidental changes to the control settings. When the easy method is selected, the controls can be unlocked by pressing and releasing the control lock button. When the hard method is selected, The controls can be unlocked by holding the control lock button for 3 seconds. By now, I'm sure you're familiar with the method for scrolling through the extended menu options with the Set Value knob, so we'll just step right through the remainder of the extended menu options. The next feature is language selection. This option is used to select the display language for all messages, alarms, and menus shown in the display window. The software version is used to view the LTV's installed software version number. The usage meter is used to view the time in hours the ventilator has been in use. It is updated every 1/10 of an hour up to 20,000 hours. The ventilator may be connected to several external devices. The communications setting is used to select the communications protocol for data transmission. The available options are monitor, printer, and modem. The Set Date option is used to view or set the current date stored in the ventilator. Press the Select button while Set Date is showing. The current date is displayed. Press the Select button again. The year is displayed. Turn the Set Value knob until the desired year is showing. Press the Select button. Month is displayed. Turn the Set Value knob until the desired month is showing. Press the Select button. Day is displayed. Turn the Set Value knob until the desired date is showing. Press the Select button to enter the new date. The Set Time option is used to view or set the current stored time. Press the Select button while Set Time is showing. The current time is displayed with hours, minutes, and seconds in military time. Press the Select button. The hour is displayed. Turn the Set Value knob until the desired hour is showing. Press the Select button. Minute is displayed. Turn the Set Value knob until the desired minute is showing. Press the Select button to enter the new time. The seconds are automatically reset to 00. The Date Format option is used to select the display format for the current date. The options are month, day, year, or day, month, year, or year, month, day. The PIP LED display option is used to select whether the PIP LED bar graph on the front panel is active or inactive. The Valve Home Position option is used to record the position of the flow valve. This information is useful to the service department. The factory technicians will set the ventilator to these settings prior to shipping the ventilator to the customer. The LTV remembers its settings when the ventilator is turned off and recalls them when turned back on. For example, if I set the breath rate to 15 and then turn the ventilator off, when I turn it back on, the breath rate will be 15. The LTV remembers the extended menu settings as well. We have now covered the extended features that you need to know the most about. However, there are still more features. Please see your operator's manual if you want to learn more about the Transducer Auto Zero, real-time transducer data, the event trace, or the ventilator maintenance menu.